On today's show, students excelling in academics on a path to breaking the intergenerational cycle of poverty, plus a development partnership between the government of Jamaica and the European Union. Also, find out how farmers and buyers of agricultural produce are finding each other using information technology. Thanks for joining us on Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Sit back and relax with these and more to come. First up, a recap of the week's top stories right after this message.
Protect yourself from the flu virus. Visit your nearest health center or doctor to get the flu vaccine. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water or by using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid the spread of germs by not touching your eyes, mouth, or nose. And be sure to regularly disinfect surfaces and objects that are used often. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. 10,000 Jamaicans will get the opportunity to buy shares in Wigton Wind Farm Limited when the initial public offering IPO opens on April 17.
This is the best way of giving back to the people of the country. This is the best way of achieving the goal of socialization of wealth.
Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark led a delegation to Washington, D.C. in the United States this week for high-level meetings with the management of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank Group. Ahead of his overseas assignment, the finance minister reiterated government's push for increased local investment in order to accelerate and sustain Jamaica's economic growth.
We've had a lot of foreign investment, but I don't think the domestic investment has yet been unleashed in the way that it can and that it ultimately will. We believe that the environment today and the policy choices that we've made will encourage domestic investment to be unleashed in Jamaica in ways that it hasn't in a long period of time.
Data from a survey conducted by Market Research Services on behalf of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce reveals that consumer and business confidence in the economy remain positive, with both indices recording increases for the first quarter of 2019. A submission is being taken to Cabinet in the next few days for persons wishing to assemble drones and airplanes at Vernon Field when the Aerotropolis operations begin at the site. Minister Mike Henry is calling on more investors to step up to the plate and tap into the economic activities that will come from the Aerotropolis project.
So I've recaptured the asset value for the people of Jamaica. We must begin to recognize, and investors must now recognize, and Jamaican investors particularly must now step up to the page, because you could start a flying school tomorrow because the runway has got 20 years life, and you don't need the runway for the training of pilots, and I mean any longer runway than what you have.
About 500 Jamaicans are to benefit from free cataract surgeries at the Kingston Public Hospital. The surgeries will be done by volunteer medical personnel in Bright Journey 2019, China's eye care mission to Jamaica. In other health news, Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says new regulations will be enacted to establish the rules under which Jamaica's funeral homes should operate.
The reality is that there are some concerns around how funeral homes operate. And if I were to be liberal in my description, I would say that it comes across almost as a free-for-all, where every and anybody can be a funeral director, very little rules of engagement, and in all of this, there is concern, public health concerns.
And finally, the government has indicated that it will spend some time carefully reviewing the Supreme Court's judgment on the 2017 National Identification and Registration Act. On Friday, Chief Justice Brian Sykes revealed that the court unanimously ruled that aspects of the legislation were in violation of the Constitution and declared the entire law null and void and of no legal effect. And those are some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolfe.
The program of advancement through health and education path has helped to produce some of the brightest young minds in our country. Year after year, they are among the top achievers in the GSAT and CSEC examinations. The Labour and Social Security Ministry, which manages PATH, has been enhancing the visibility of youth achievements under the program. Here are some highlights from the 2019 awards.
The Program of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH, is empowering the nation's youth and developing our human capital. This is being achieved through the delivery of cash benefits to support the education of children and a comprehensive suite of supporting interventions that target poor and vulnerable households. PATH is succeeding in breaking the intergenerational poverty cycle, as it currently assists 370,000 registered beneficiaries, with nearly 70% of them being children.
PATH has helped to produce some of the brightest young minds in our country, one of whom is none other than the 2018-2019 Rhodes Scholar, Mr. Shavana Baker.
Baker is just one of the many PATH beneficiaries whose academic excellence have been recognized in its Top Achievers Awards since 2005.
This year, we have introduced a new award called the PATH Trailblazer Award. And that award will be presented to Shavana Baker. But I must tell you, we started this award because Shavana inspired us. That we have our students who have gone on after university to excel. And so we must recognize those students who continue to excel and continue to contribute in society.
Young Baker accepted the Pioneering Award with much glee and introspection, knowing his story could inspire many others on the path to success.
PATH, provides lunch, provides you with some little support to go to school. And being the person that I am, I would use that money to ensure that I go to school, take the lunches, ensure that I get something out of it. What is important in the whole background is the support of parents, my mother, my father. Even though they didn't have much, they ensure that education is a must. After I left Manchester, I went to UA. I did actuarial science on an open scholarship, the most prestigious in the Caribbean for an undergraduate student. Then I finished the actuarial science degree with first class honors. Then I applied for a scholarship, Jamaica National Foundation Legacy Scholarship, to study for a master's in financial economics that I got at the University of Birmingham in the United Kingdom. After that, came back to Jamaica last December 2017. Applied for work. I started working at Financial Services Commission. Then I moved to the Bank of Jamaica as a financial economist.
In its sixth staging, the PATH Top Achievers Awards recognize the continued excellence of its beneficiaries in various awards categories. At the primary school level, the PATH Top Scholar Boy and Girl were selected on the basis of their overall averages and national rankings for the Grade 6 Achievement Test. 3 cash awards were granted in the CSEC category, where applicants with the highest number of Grade 1 passes were awarded Top Scholar. 9 cash awards were presented to top achievers and their runners-up, selected on the basis of their academic prowess and leadership capabilities demonstrated by co-curricular or community involvement. The 2019 staging of the Path Top Achievers Awards also recognized and rewarded outstanding student attendance at the secondary level. 10 scholarships were presented to students who completed grade 11 without being absent for more than 20 days over 5 years. Cash awards were also given to secondary schools where the annual average of student attendance improved significantly in keeping with established path criteria. The awards also recognize the contribution of stakeholders in the health and education sectors whose service delivery to beneficiaries support the path objectives. Another new element introduced this year was a recognition and rewards program for parish office teams that continue to uphold the highest standards of service delivery to beneficiaries and the wider community.
This is one of the programs that we are most proud of because we think it most directly reflects the core vision and values and objectives of our institution.
Our Vision 2030 development plans are strongly dependent on the investment we make in our children through health and education. And in this sense, these awardees for 2016, 2017, and 2018 are truly an example to all of us.
Poverty reduction forms a central part of the social and economic development plans for Jamaica. The government has been getting tangible assistance towards this from development partners such as the European Union. The resulting investment in human capital development and physical infrastructure has transformed the lives of many. Take a look.
My name is Tiana James and I was a recipient for the European Union tertiary level scholarship, and as such I'm beyond grateful because it was a source of income to attend school. Without that opportunity I wouldn't at least been able to complete my bachelor's degree. And now currently I'm at UA doing a master's program in international public and development management, which is essentially a public sector management course. Without the EU opportunity, I wouldn't have been where I am today.
It offered me employment. Being an employee, I'm offered a salary in which I can help out around my household. I'm really grateful for that.
Through the assistance, I can achieve food at times, you know. They gave us the tank these and the pumps and the boards and everything, the mesh and all those things. So I built it up myself. But they come and put it and set up the pipe and such like. And after that, them give us fish and we go and grow them and them take them, sell them to foreign.
There is much to be thankful for. We live in one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and we are a multi-talented people who are world-renowned for our achievements. There are still pockets of poverty deprivation, however. Some communities still have limited access to infrastructure, education, and employment. In a groundbreaking partnership, The European Union and Government of Jamaica in the 1990s together designed and in 2001 launched the EU-Jamaica Poverty Reduction Program, PRP, to remedy these challenges in collaboration with the Planning Institute of Jamaica and with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, as the implementing partner.
Our support is supporting the vision of the government for the people of Jamaica. So if the vision covers 5 or 6 or 10 sectors, in the course of conversation and consultations, we identify those areas that are most pertinent and those areas where our assistance, our experience, our knowledge, our expertise can have the biggest benefits.
With support from the EU, Jamaica's largest supply of grants, a vast range of benefits have been delivered to the residents in underserviced communities. Between 2001 and 2018, 44.1 million euros, more than 6 billion Jamaican dollars as at the BOJ exchange rate January 2019, was dispersed through the GOJ EU Poverty Reduction Program. In a 4-phase approach, the PRP took on a total of 104 community infrastructure projects. Among them, 7 health centers, 8 police stations, 7 water supply projects, 27 roads, drains, and sanitation projects. Also, the PRP funded 44 school infrastructure projects involving construction, renovation and retrofitting works, as well as similar works on 11 community centers, hostels, sports and training facilities. The PRP also assisted with assessments, studies, formal training and capacity building, grant funding to community organizations, as well as policy support as part of the delivery of social development projects. These projects, implemented across the island, also provided communities with income and employment opportunities, internships, grant support, behavior change actions, as well as scholarships for vocational and tertiary studies.
We've seen over that period some 230,000 Jamaicans being impacted positively through the intervention of the program. And you're looking at some 44 million euros being spent. And the PRP program is aligned heavily to our Vision 2030, particularly goals 1 and 2, which looks at Jamaicans are empowered to achieve their fullest potential and the Jamaican society is cohesive, secure and just. And so we are seeing human security, we are seeing community development, citizen security being enhanced. We are looking at how do we improve the living standards for persons in a country, both now and for generations to come.
Through PRP1, just over 34,000 persons were direct beneficiaries from projects covering social and infrastructural development, including roads, schools, water supply, governance capacity building, and training. In its second phase, the PRP further improved the lives of close to 27,000 direct and over 46,000 persons indirectly. PRP3 provided, along with the infrastructure improvements, life skills training in dispute resolution, sexual and reproductive health, vocational skills training, on-the-job placement, and remedial reading and literacy classes. And the many vulnerable youths impacted are now set on a steady path to self-development, gainful employment, and a brighter future. The PRP's partnership in providing environments which support quality education has resulted in the construction, rehabilitation, equipping and capacity building training for support staff and principals of over 44 schools. This has become the foundation for many to transition beyond a life of poverty. I'm here in the community of Waterhouse, where a PRP infrastructure project has been completed. Everyone in the community is excited about the transformation taking place in their community and their lives.
It has done a lot to increase the economic mobility. Having these roads repaired, as you see, at least 4 of them have been repaired under the poverty reduction program. It helped to sort of boost the image of the community because you have more suppliers and persons who are willing to come into the community now to do business. The community safety and security has been enhanced somewhat because we are now able to get more regular and frequent police patrols in the community. So the people, the residents of the community at large, they welcome it.
Good work continues to be done under the PRP, which is now in its 4th phase. By design, it's ensuring sustainability of the achievements.
Investments in the 4th phase of the EU Jamaica Poverty Reduction Programme, PRP4, costing €12.54 million, is supporting Jamaica's Community Renewal Programme, CRP, up to June 2020. PRP4 is supporting the implementation of the governance, physical transformation, socio-economic development, and youth development components of the CRP to promote economic well-being and enhance the quality of life for residents of volatile communities.
We will work with persons who have social enterprises or community-based enterprises, and these persons will be given an opportunity, a grant opportunity, to expand or improve their goods and services.
Over 152,000 individuals would then benefit directly from the 4th phase of the PRP in areas supported.
Under PRP4, we hope to be able to invest in communities across 65 communities, across 5 parishes. We are not only investing in infrastructure and expansion and construction of police stations and schools and the rehabilitation of roads, but we are also doing significant work in the upgrading of health centers.
It fits into the ministry's priority of primary care renewal. In 2017, approximately 1.7 million persons interacted with our primary health care facilities, and so to be able to have these be upgraded, be rehabilitated for the necessary equipment to be put in so that the population can access health care, quality health care, then that has been a tremendous blessing.
Through the EU Jamaica Poverty Reduction Programme, a partnership spanning 22 years, the Government of Jamaica and the EU together are contributing to Jamaica's Vision 2030 development plan for a secure, cohesive, and just Jamaican society.
Farmers are taking the information highway to get their produce to market. And likewise, the buyers of agricultural produce are finding it easier to shop through the use of technology designed to solve the disconnect between the two elements in the business of agriculture. Learn more in this next feature.
Many times we have so many things that we can't sell. We have, because sometimes all the farmers goes out and plant Irish potatoes. And it's too much. So what we do is just use the phone, same place in the field, get to them, and they try everything, and know it. Before them, we only have spoilage. We can't sell. So no matter how it glut in the whole highland, they find a way to unload it.
Bye-bye farm produce glut. Alex is here to move farmers' produce onto the plates of visitors to our shores.
The Agri-Linkages Exchange Center, good afternoon.
It's not my...
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Wilson. What are you doing? Okay. So what do you have reaping now?
We have a portion of corn ready, you know.
Is that sweet corn? Okay, sir. Let me just add that to the database for you. How much corn are you reaping?
We have 12 dozen corn ready, you know.
What's the selling price? 120 per dozen?
So you can look the buyer for me anytime you're ready. You hear, boss?
Another problem, Mr. Willis. I'll post the information for you, and once the market is available, I'll give you a call and let you know. All right, Mr. Willis, thanks for calling.
As easy as that, farmers are reaping economic benefits through tourism. The Agri-Linkages Exchange is an electronic platform where buyers and sellers of agricultural produce meet. Currently, there are agro-brokers who manage the platform. They operate from the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, St. Andrew office. It's a collaboration between the Ministries of Tourism and Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries. The center has raked in more than $50 million in sales for approximately 400 farmers across the country.
This program is dedicated specifically to the farmers, and what we were trying to solve was the fact that a number of our hotel, especially our hotel purchasing personnel, had difficulty getting produce that was in season, out of season, or even where they were located. So you'll find that particular fruits that will be in abundance in the eastern end of the island never ever gets to the west, and vice versa. For example, mangoes. Mangoes are very abundant in the east, and again the west would love to have some of the fruits that we have in abundance at one place. So the agri-linkages exchange platforms would have been a link to ensure that both buyers and sellers meet. At this point, we have 55 hotels on it. We have 7 agro-processors. We have about 5 retail operators, but the retail are really large personnel. And each day is another day in which persons are added.
I was at a production and marketing meeting in my community where we were discussing where we can unload our produce. So one of the road extension officer recommended us to Alex. I just get my phone, get registered, and that's it. Since Alex, we have more in demand than supply. It's been so good for us, trust me.
There are farmers who might not be technologically savvy to actually go on the system themselves, so they'll call into the center and ask, and these agro-brokers will be able to put them on the system.
On a daily basis, I would say we get from maybe 20 calls per day or so from farmers. A lot of the calls that we do get, surprisingly, are farmers who are new to agriculture. They are curious about what Alex is about. Persons are now realizing that technology, agriculture, and production can all mix.
We supply and deliver produce, fruits, vegetables to hotels and restaurants. It's about 10 hotels that we supply on a weekly basis. Hotels that we supply, it's from small to large hotels. We found out about the Alex Center through a farmer. It is a very good initiative.
On a daily basis, we probably make contact with 20-30 buyers on behalf of our farmers, and they themselves, the buyers do call the center. Buyers request varied amount of quantity of produce depending on what the usage is. If it's for agro-processing or export, the volumes will range from as small as a small agro-processor may need 80 pounds of sorrel or 100 pounds, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, but then you have an exporter who will need 10,000 pounds of sweet potato, 15,000 pounds of pumpkin, 20,000 pounds of other produce. So the volumes vary depending on the usage. We walk with the farmers and we stay with them until the transaction is completed, until they're paid, until the goods are delivered.
Our hotels are interested in buying local produce. There's really no substitute for the produce that we actually produce here. If you were to import any of our grown provision, it wouldn't taste the same. And therefore, there's really no incentive for the hotels to be purchasing overseas. What we have not had from our local industry is exactly where it is and in what quantities. And Alex has been able to solve that mischief somewhat.
It's simple, man. Just get the phone or come down to the road where the office is, register with Alex, and that's it.
This is where we end our half-hour journey inside Jamaica Magazine for today. But not to worry, you can watch these and other programs by logging on to our website, jis.gov.jm, or subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on our social media platforms. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.